Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and what you are looking at is my 8-year-old who was not happy at all because daddy caught a fish and his big brother caught a fish, and this child does not understand the patience of a fisherman yet. He was angry yesterday, so I don't think he's going to be wanting to go back fishing until I can tell him for sure that they're going to be biting because I spent all day throwing his line out for him, and it gets old listening to him whine about how he's not catching anything. But it's a little too cold and windy yesterday. The season's coming in here shortly. Okay, we're having a little bit of a pullback in crypto this morning, but guess who is one of the only ones in green? That would be XRP. Let's move along here. This is what I found this to be an interesting tweet. Andrew Zell says, it would be ironic if Flare is what will make XRP holders rich. Oh, that would be ironic. But remember, Flare's slogan is unlocking value. And here's what else is interesting. It just had a little bit of a pullback. But Flare, when I first started putting this video together, was sitting at 71 cents, I believe. It's been as high as 78 cents. Flare, these are Flare IOUs now, keep that in mind. There is no Flare on the market yet, and this price could go down when the actual supply comes out, or it could go up. Who knows? There could be a buyer frenzy, or nobody knows, but it's really interesting that it's where it is right now. Okay, so yeah, and that would be crazy. Now, I showed you this yesterday. This is Caitlin Long, okay? She is one of the people that's on the blockchain committee for the state of Wyoming, and then Wyoming eventually passed the law where you could have more or less like a crypto bank. So we showed this tweet yesterday where she's welcoming Ripple, and showed this where Ripple Markets on the 2nd of November 2020, Ripple Markets Wyoming LLC opened, or I guess they opened a new company called Ripple Markets Wyoming LLC. So that's interesting, and it's got Ripple's actual address, so it is Ripple. So that's interesting. Now let's carry that a little further. I said this: one has to wonder if Ripple is about to become a bank under Wyoming laws. I think that, for me, that's pretty obvious. That's where this is going, because that's what other companies are doing. Mr. B had tweeted this out, where Ripple had with the Patent and Trademark Office, they had abandoned a trademark that they had for Ripple Bank. They abandoned it. We'll see if they abandoned it in 2018. Could it be back on the table? So we know that they had those intentions. I forgot to pull it up in this video. I'll show it to you maybe in the next video. But Miguel Valles, you know what? I'm going to do something that I never do. I'm going to stop the video here, and then I'm going to go get the video, put it in, and then I'll start from there so that you can see it, what Miguel Valles said about lender of last resort and what Ripple would probably do. You need to see it for those of you that have not seen it. So I'm going to stop this here. Okay, I got the Miguel Valles clip. Here we go.
I think we're on a path that hopefully we'll all look back someday and be like, wow, I can't believe I was a part of that. So yeah, I'm obviously pretty stoked.
Like, how do you intend to distribute the rest of the XRP then?
Listen to this very carefully right
Brad
here.
comes.
Yeah, no, that's a good question, Mahir. And I don't necessarily know that we'll ever distribute all of it. In my mind's eye, there's a possibility where, we end up more of a lending kind of, more of a lender of last resort capacity, maybe.
Like I said.
How about that? So that kind of goes right in line with what we've been talking about. Now look at this. I went back and found this Caitlin Long tweet from back on December 30th, 2020. She says, time for crypto loss loose to dig. Kraken owns a bank charter. Banks are exempt from several SEC rules. Wyoming's SPDI bank charter was expressly designed to qualify for these SEC exemptions. 2. Kraken's bank isn't yet operating. Will that matter? Enjoy. Almost like she's saying enjoy the show. This is Wyoming's SPDI that she's referring to. It says SPDIs may resemble custody banks in that these institutions will likely focus on fiduciary activities, safekeeping, asset management, and servicing. The role of a custody bank is focused on storing assets, fiduciary management, conducting a variety of transactions with assets, and providing an on-off ramp to securities markets, commodities markets, and customer bank accounts. SPDIs also may serve as a vehicle for business cash management, operational accounts, and any other purpose permitted by HB 74. So anyway, they said what she said is that it's specifically expressly designed to qualify for these SEC exemptions. I thought that was interesting. Then I just happened to be snooping around on the Wyoming Secretary of State website, and look what I found. Turns out that Coinbase also registered in the state of Wyoming, and you have to wonder that. I retweeted it. Why did Coinbase do this in 2014? The Wyoming laws were not even done. I don't even think they had begun talking about passing these banking regulations in 2014. So why did Coinbase, and this is Coinbase, San Francisco principal office, why did Coinbase do this in 2014? What did they know back then? That's my question. Okay, this is interesting. This guy, Jamie Nix, I guess. Yeah, he sent me a message and said his last name is pronounced Nix. Jamie Nix had gone on a little thing, and he was sending me all kinds of stellar things yesterday. Some of them I've covered before, but I wanted to remind everybody on some others. This is the first article, and this one had something in it I never knew, I don't think. It says Stripe considered working. Stripe was the first organization to back Stellar, and its reason for doing so are interesting to examine. Stripe considered working with Jed McCaleb when Stripe attempted to buy Ripple Labs. After that deal fell through and McCaleb left Ripple, Stripe gave $3 million to the Stellar Development Foundation in exchange for 2 billion lumens. Okay, so Stripe is a holder of Stellar lumens. So the two things I got out of that I did not know, and that I didn't remember, is that they had 2 billion lumens, XLM. Okay, Stripe does. And also that they tried to buy Ripple. It makes you wonder if that's part of the reason McCaleb left, is because he wanted to sell Ripple to Stripe. Who knows? Well, then this was also sent to me by Jamie Nix. This is I think this is from back in 2014, Jed McCaleb on CNBC. And it's interesting to go back to these things. It's always interesting to go back and watch some of these videos that you don't even remember they did, these interviews you don't even remember they did. But for those of you that are new to this space, to not understand who Jed McCaleb is to not understand any of this. This guy's the guy that started Mt. Gox, supposedly. He's the guy who just when everything hit the fan, this guy is able to just go off and start a new company. Nobody touches him. The feds don't touch him. The other guy that was involved in Mt. Gox, I don't think he went to jail. I think he pled out or whatever. But the McCaleb is nowhere to be found whenever people start getting arrested. This is what I've always been. When people start getting sued and arrested, McCaleb is nowhere to be found. He is always off starting his next thing. That fascinates me. There's a lot more to this guy than people realize. I'm just telling you. Watch this.
Currency exchanges is dragging down Bitcoin this week. Reports surfacing that Binance has been operating without a license, and regulators in Japan may shut it down. Binance CEO initially debunking those reports via Twitter, but now Binance has announced that it is planning to open an office.
This, I don't this was not in 2014. I think it may have been in 2018 because Bitcoin was not that high back then.
In the country of Malta. The uncertainty putting the crypto universe, though, on edge. So how safe is your crypto? Let's bring in the creator of Mt. Gox and co-founder of Stellar, Jed McCaleb. Jed, great to have you with us.
Yeah, hi, great to be here.
You obviously know a thing or two about how secure exchanges might be. So what's your advice for people out there?
Yeah, I mean, I was only involved in the exchange space for a very brief period of time. I've been more focused on building actually these platforms. But you do have to be very careful. I mean, obviously this is a new, all this technology is new, and try to keep your money in the most reputable exchange. I don't really have that much advice about exchange stuff. But.
All right, let's move on to the platforms, because your history is basically that you co-founded Ripple and then you moved on to co-found Stellar because of certain differences in opinion, philosophy differences that you wanted to operate the platform on. So can you tell us what the key differences are between Ripple and Stellar? Because a lot of people think of these two as the preferred platforms for the financial services industry.
Yeah, right. So what we're trying to build at Stellar is an internet level protocol. And I think it's important that be done by a nonprofit entity. Like if you imagine the internet created by a for-profit company, we would just be in a very different world. And that's essentially what we're trying to do, is make it where payments works, how information works on the internet now, where everything's interoperable, you can send money to anywhere. And so you kind of just need this kind of governance and structure that wasn't really done in Ripple. And kind of beyond that, it's important to have lots and lots of participants in the network, not just a few. So one of the things that we're doing in Stellar is distributing the underlying asset, the underlying coin, like very widely. And I think that's a kind of a key thing to actually make these things successful.
I mean, one of the interesting things is that one of the just sort of the forces within the crypto community is this.
All right. That's enough of that. I just wanted to show you that. And also, let's show you a couple more things that you might not know. I had tweeted this. Stripe knows. This is that article about how they gave up on Bitcoin and then they invested in Stellar. And then I think what he meant here, Jamie Nix, is that Mike Kennedy was the founder of Zelle, okay, and then Mike Kennedy is now, the Interstellar is I look at it like Interstellar is Ripple for XLM. Okay, so Mike Kennedy was made the CEO of Interstellar, and this is Mike Kennedy. So he's got one hell of a resume, but he's the CEO of Interstellar. He started Zelle. You can look on most of your banks. You can look on your phone, and Zelle is what they use for moving money around. And then Jed McCaleb, who co-founded Stellar Development Foundation, is the CTO of Interstellar. See how this all works? Now, I wanted to finish this video. There's a lot of you out there who have heard me talk about how I use a virtual private network. Anybody who doesn't use one should be using one. For those of you that don't know what they are, I'm going to show you this video real quick. Look in I'll put this at the top in the description of my video. These guys at Purevpn, they have a 7-day trial for only 99 cents that they run, and I use these VPNs, and so it's one of those things. This is a scary world with hackers and all that we live in, and so I always try to put things in front of you that are for protection against having crypto stolen or being targeted or anything like that. So watch this. If you don't have one of these, it'll be an eye-opener.
Wondering what a VPN is and how it can help you on the internet? Think of a VPN as steroids for your devices, giving them the maximum firepower. Your devices will need this power to accomplish 3 epic tasks. 1. You'll be able to securely stream your favorite content on any device from anywhere in the world at blazing fast speeds. You'll be able to overcome content blocks, geo-restrictions, and content censorships imposed in certain countries. 3. You and your activities will be invisible to hackers and spies, even when you're using public networks. Awesome, right? But how does a VPN do all this and more? By definition, VPN means virtual private network. And as boring as the name sounds, the servers in our network can help you in many wonderful ways. Purevpn has more than 750 servers in more than 180 locations around the world. Purevpn users are free to connect to any server of their choice in any location. Since you now have a private connection, you can access any streaming channel from anywhere. The data you sent via Purevpn gets encrypted and encapsulated inside a tunnel, allowing you to bypass any restriction and censorships in your country.
Okay, I think that gives you the gist of it. I am the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, and tell your friends and family that if they don't have a VPN, they might want to get one. The link's in the description. Thanks for listening.